now we're chilling with the Murder Inc. family, and of course, we're gonna bring the Godfather himself for the Murder Inc. family, Irv.
Yo. 106 in Prague. Hey!
Holla.
My people.
Now, let me address this person. The new album, you spitting some bars and stuff?
Why not?
What,
Why
can you
not?
give me a taste of the verse that you're blessing on the track?
I don't even remember. It was written for me. I ain't an artist like that.
You don't remember none of it?
right.
Come on, Irv.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
How does it go?
Look, I didn't do it. How does it go?
Here we come. July 2nd. Go get the album. Listen
July
to it.
July
Write one
2nd.
for your friend and your man
My
or whatever.
people.
You know.
Holla.
All right.
I don't remember it. Word to mother. Cadillac. Ty wrote it.
All right, so you sometimes sit in the director chair of some of the videos. You all like to remake a lot of movies.
Oh, what's good? So, BET is running around promoting this documentary that they're doing, a 5-part series on Murder Inc. Records. Now, they've done these in the past. They did it with No Limit. They did it with Rough Riders, respectfully. They did it with maybe Cash Money. And I know they did it for Rockefeller. And those all deserved it. Those were huge movements. If you were of a certain age in that era, then you know it. They did it on Death Row, of course, Bad Boy. Dynasty labels. To me, a dynasty label is when you got a hip-hop label that's on fire. Even the worst artists on the label are selling records and going platinum. And it's a multitude of people. It's not just one or two hot acts and a bunch of people standing around. You know what I mean? You got 4 or 5, like Death Row, for example. You had 4 or 5 iconic rappers in their prime, all on one label. Tupac, Snoop, Dogg Pound, Nate Dogg, Dr. Dre. You know, Bad Boy was big. Then after that was Mace, The Lox, on and on and on. When I look at Murder Inc., I'm sorry, we gotta stop. I'm a historian when it comes to certain stuff, hip hop, sports. I don't play when it comes to history, and I don't like people rewriting history and messing up stuff. They're out here making it seem like Murder Inc. was this big dominant label when it was a 1-2 pony show. It was the Ja Rule and Ashanti show. Don't tell me the streets was checking for Vita, because they wasn't. Don't tell me people was checking for Charlie Baltimore. They weren't. You know, it's like that famous line. The people you got just suck, they no good. I ain't never heard nobody say they like them in the hood. Like, nobody ever was like, yo, you heard that new Cadillac Ty? No, you heard that new Black Child freestyle? Like, stop it. These were a bunch of other people. It was Ja and Ashanti. If they were like the Temptations, Ja and Ashanti would be up front with the mics, and the rest of them would be in the background dancers. People that was just there for protection and for credibility usage. These were not real artists. And even when you want to say, well, Lloyd was there, yeah, but Lloyd came in after the fact. Lloyd, they brought him in at like 04, 05, 06. By the time he came in, that label was done, and it wasn't even the original Murder Inc. They had already changed it to just the Inc. When they had that whole situation with the feds and Irv Gotti got his office raided, they had to rebrand themselves as the Inc. They had to take the murder out of it. So it's like 50 and then made them take murder out the Inc. You know what I mean? But they're doing this anyway, and I just don't like when, because you got young kids who weren't around back then who are probably going to watch this, and they're going to be miseducated thinking that Murder Inc. was bigger than it really was, and it wasn't. Was Ja Rule top 5 in his prime? Of course. He wasn't as big as an artist as Eminem or Nelly or Jay-Z or DMX, but he was in that top 5. I'll give him that. But as a label, that was 2 artists and a bunch of nobodies. You know what I mean? Facts. Don't sit here and tell me that this label had the game in the chokehold. You had Ja doing his thing and Ashanti doing her thing. Now, what coulda, shoulda, woulda, they were supposed to sign Nas. That could have put them over the top, but they didn't. That deal never got done. You know, and who knows what other deals that they could have got done, but that never happened. You know, it was just Ja and Ashanti. Give them their flowers, rightfully so. I think Ashanti got a Soul Train award. Ja got his flowers at Versus last year. Good for them. But let's not sit here and act like this label was popping like that and everybody was lining up to sign to Murder Inc. And you're like, stop it, man. Like, stop lying to folks. And, you know, Irv and them, 5-part documentary. What are you going to talk about for 5 episodes worth an hour long? We got Hot. We got, you know, we got Ashanti. And then 50 came, and then it was over. Like, what more? Like, I just don't know how you even stretch this out for a 5-part series. You know, it's like at some point, if you stay stuck in the past, then you'll die in the present. It's like certain rappers still have to live in the past. Like Slick Rick he has to still portray that character with the big chain and the patch eye. He still has to come out here and act like it's 1988. He can't even move on and be a modern person. When people see him, they want him to be in character like it's 88. Same thing for Dougie Fresh. John, Ashanti, and them are still, they have to still act like it's the early 2000s. Like they can't even step into the modern era because they haven't done anything in almost 20 years. What have they done in recent memory to add on to their history, their legacy? We know what you did 20 years ago. Kudos. But what are you doing now, and what have you done lately? You know what I mean? You can't live in the past forever. At some point, you got to move into the present or you'll die in the present. You can't stay stuck in the past forever. Nostalgia is a beautiful thing, but it can fuck you up. You got to step out of that. You got to move on, reinvent yourself. We get it. I want to know, what is Ja and Irv going to do now to reinvent themselves to this new era? You know, like, for example, LL Cool J and Queen Latifah and Ice Cube, when I was growing up, they were rappers who were just now starting to get into Hollywood and films. Now you got a whole generation, that's all they know them for. They don't know Queen Latifah for being a rapper. They know her for being a good actress. You know? Yeah, reinvent yourself. Can't stay stuck in the 90s forever. You know what I mean? You can only do but so many Drink Champs interviews. If you want to stay relevant to the culture, you got to come out with something new, do something different to reinvent yourself. So BET's going to do this doc. I don't even know when it's coming on. I don't even own a BET subscription, so I won't be watching. But yeah, history is important to me. Y'all need to stop telling people lies and tell the real truth.